Oh my goodness, guys, we made it to episode 2. Woo! Yeah! I don't want to scream in the mic because for anyone listening audio, I don't want to kill you. But guys, welcome back to Over the Surface. I am so excited to do this episode because we're finally going to be jumping in to our questions. Also, before we get started, I just want to say how overwhelming the love and the feedback was from the first episode, because I just didn't know how people were going to react to the switch up of OTS. I know a lot of people loved the first season and loved the whole concept of me having a guest on and talking about deeper topics with someone else and having the guest in the hot seat. So I just wasn't sure how this new setup was going to be perceived or taken. But I'm really glad that everyone showed a lot of love and support towards it. It really, really means a lot. So thank you. Also, guys, I did start a Patreon. So if you want to go check that out, I will have it linked down below. All the extra content will be on there. Me talking about poetry, me just extending my conversations on here that I'll be, extending on to Patreon. Just little extra things that I want to talk about on there, whether that's kind of reading my journal, getting a little deeper. So that will all be on my Patreon down below in the link. I'll be posting every week on there too. So I think what I really want to implement into my podcast, which I got the idea because of last week's podcast episode, I really want to do a quote of the week or a blurb of the week or something like that, because last week I spoke about a notebook that I would write in when I was 15 and in high school, and I actually read that journal on my Patreon, so that is up on the Patreon, and it's so cringy, and so you absolutely want to crawl out of your skin when you're watching it or reading it or all the above. Anyways, so I got the idea because in that journal I wrote so many quotes down. I wrote so many quotes and blurbs down, song lyrics, and I forgot how much I loved just reading small blurby quotes. So I thought it would be really fun to find a quote that not only resonates with me, but something that maybe resonated with me in the past, or something that I've saved, or something that I think maybe you guys might take away from that is really good and positive. So I'm going to do a quote / blurb of the week every week as well. That'll be a fun little segment before we get into the question, right? So this week I decided to go into my Instagram saves, which I don't really go in there that often. Normally what I'm saving on there are nail inspos or just outfits I like, just random stuff. But I remember a long time ago, I used to save a lot of quotes on there. I'm not doing it too much anymore, but I thought I would go into the archives and dive deep into them. Also, you know what? I'm going to take a sip of wine. Cheers, everyone. I do have wine every episode. You know what? I'm not going to say that anymore, because what if I'm not feeling wine? What if I'm feeling an iced latte? What if I'm feeling a hot tea? But I will say, I do like having a little wine with me to bring the shoulders down, bring the mind at ease. I don't know what I'm saying. Also, for any audio listeners right now, I'm so sorry. I don't know if that is allowed on podcasts. I think I've said that. I don't know if I can slurp or drink on a podcast. Maybe I got to do it like off the mic, but it's fine. If you hear a slurp, it's most likely wine. Okay, so anyways, back to the quote / blurb of the week. So I went and looked for one in the archives, and this one was saved from 2022. So a long time ago. So this is from a Instagram account called Louisa's Poetry. And Louisa's poetry is spelled LOUISAS POETRYY. Super cute name. Love Louisa. Okay, anyway, so the blurb / quote is, "You taught me to hate all the parts of me that you didn't approve of. And now I finally realize those are the parts of me I love the most. I bet you'd hate me now, and there's nothing I'm more proud of." I read this one this morning when I was looking, and it really hit me because it is crazy how, someone can make you hate so many things about yourself. But when that person leaves, or when you just become more confident about yourself and you really are on your self-love journey, it's crazy how much you start to love those parts of yourself, right? Like for instance, I'm not saying anyone's ever said that this is annoying that I do, or maybe they have, I don't know. But this is just an example because this is the only thing I can think of. But for instance, I'm super type A. I'm very to the books. I can be kind of annoying about just always being on the dot or being really organized, or I can be kind of a little anal about certain things. And I've thought about how I feel like people might think that's really annoying, or someone could probably think, oh, this is really annoying of her. And I've realized that, oh my goodness, I feel like those are things that I really love about myself after a while of thinking that, because that makes me who I am. And also, do you guys hear that? Blow dryer, not blow dryer. Leaf blower. It's literally stressing me out. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys don't hear that. But I mean, if you do, what am I going to do about it? All right. Anyways, so what was I saying? So yeah, back to me saying me being annoying and all that. And then I realized that's who I am. And I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I wasn't like that. I feel like that personality trait of mine has taught me a lot of discipline, and it's taught me a lot of focus and determination towards what I want. So I don't know. I just was thinking about it, and it's crazy how you could think something about you is really annoying, or someone will tell you there's something really annoying. Like, oh, you're annoying. You're so like anal and intense about things. I'm telling you, that is going to go way farther in life for you than you think, than them being like, oh, you're annoying. So that's like the only example I could think of right now. But you know what I mean? You get the gist? So anyways, that really stuck with me because it's true. Someone can make you hate something about yourself, but trust me, it probably is the best thing about you. They're just jealous. They're just jealous of you. Okay, so anyway, so that was the blurb / quote of the week, and I really loved it. So I wanted to share with it. I wanted to share it with you guys. Gosh, I'm still trying to get the hang of this. Also, if I still seem a little like uptight or weird, it's just getting used to yapping without feeling bad, like blabbering and just word vomiting, because that's truly what is going on in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I making any sense? Is this just horrible? Okay. Anyways, we're going to dive into our question for today, which I'm super stoked about. So if you didn't know, or if this is your first time ever watching, basically I asked my viewers to send in some deep hitting topics / questions, and I pull them out of this bowl, and I kind of put myself in the hot seat. So I don't know what the questions are. I am kind of off the top of my head trying to answer them, because in the first season of my show, that's what I did with a guest, but I'm putting myself in the hot seat now. So if you didn't know. One more sip of wine. Cheers. I'm trying not to make any noise, guys. Okay, here we go. I'm kind of nervous because what if I brain fart and I can't talk anymore? Oh, can you guys hear the rumbling and the shuffling? Is that annoying? Okay, I don't know. All right, let's see. Give me a good one. 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 There's this one like wrapped around my finger, so I'm gonna go with that one. It felt like I really wanted to latch on to me, so I'm going with it. Okay, here we go. Ooh, I don't know. What am I saying? I don't know. Okay. How did you know you were ready to fall in love, and what made that moment feel right for you? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. How did you know you were ready to fall in love, and what made that moment feel right for you? Okay, let's first do the first part. How did you know you were ready to fall in love? I don't think you know when you're ready. I think it just happens. And that's what happened with me. I mean, I'm sure everyone's different, right? I'm sure there's people that get to a point where they're like, okay, I'm ready to commit to someone. I'm ready to fall in love. I'm ready to give a part of myself to a relationship again. And I'm going to be honest, when I fell in love again, I wasn't ready. I didn't expect it. And I actually was very standoffish. I was very, very much had a barrier up is what I'm trying to say. A wall. I've always had a wall up when it came to falling in love again, because I think my thing was I was so afraid of falling again for someone or being in love and then it turning into shit or them leaving me or them. It was just like a bit of a trauma, I guess, from my last relationship of being in love and then they leave. And I was like, oh, whoa, I thought we were supposed to be together forever. So, yeah, I don't think I knew I was ready to fall in love. I was very against it. And it took a lot for me to get there, to be honest. I think with my current boyfriend now, it just took a lot of trial and error. And that might sound a little weird, but it was just a lot of trying to understand each other and trying to understand what we were doing. Because before we were dating, we were just dating, like seeing each other very casually for a year. So we were kind of casually dating for a year, and then now we've been officially together for a year. So it feels like we've been together for 2 years, honestly, over 2 years at this point. So I think, because I'm trying to think of the timeline from my past, from the last relationship to now. I think it was a couple of years between that. So there was enough time that had gone by for me to feel like, okay, like I'm ready to date. I'm ready to be with someone. But I think my biggest thing, which I explained to my current boyfriend now when we were trying to figure things out, was I think I didn't want to give myself to anyone yet. I wanted to fully be selfish and have me and only have to worry about me, because I worried about my ex-partner so much. I worried about everything that he did, his life, his moments, and I never worried about myself. And it was detrimental to my mental health afterwards, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even care about myself at all in this relationship. I only cared about him. So I think in all those thoughts, I was like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm selfish, and I need to make sure that I stand my ground and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and focusing on myself, like F boys, whatever, right? So I think that was the main thing, was I wanted to have me and only me. I didn't want to make room for anyone else. I didn't want to have to worry about anyone. So it was a really weird thing. And then obviously I'm in that heavy mindset, right? And then on top of that, I meet this guy that is amazing. And then I'm fighting with myself. It was a lot of back and forth for a year between him and I before we actually started dating, because I was very nervous. I was very I just was very indecisive. I wanted to be with him, right? I wanted to be with him. I just didn't want to lose him. But at the same time, a part of me was like, Franny, you need to just be alone, be single, focus on yourself. And then you start having those thoughts of, well, what if you lose this person? And this was like this was supposed to be your person, or this was supposed to be the time to be with this person, and you're going to mess it up. What if you regret it? What if you regret it for the rest of your life? So I really sat with myself when I had to think about all that. And I came to the decision of, I don't want to lose him. I want to be with him. Even though I'm afraid of being with someone right now, I want to be with him. And if I am going to be with someone in this state of mind, he is the perfect person to work through this with me. Because I will say, my boyfriend now is very patient with me. He has been very patient with me. He has been very there emotionally for me through that roller coaster that we went through. And that showed a lot. That showed a lot of dedication to our relationship and how much he loves me. You know, I think a lot of it too comes down to, what are you willing to fight for? And he fought for me. And I will say, I didn't really fight for him at the beginning, which I do feel guilty about. But yeah, it was a pretty hard year before we started dating. I mean, at the end of the day, any relationship is always going to be difficult. My mom always says, you know, when you get married, it gets even harder. And I'm like, great. Oh, can't wait. But it's really, you just got to find the person that you want to do those things with. You want to go through and work through those issues with. Because life isn't perfect. You're going to have problems with people. That's just how it goes at the end of the day. Okay, wait, what was the second part of this question? What made that moment feel right for you? I think I answered that already. I don't think there is a perfect moment. Like I said, you just got to do it. And for anyone who's afraid of falling in love again, like I was, don't. Please do not be afraid to fall in love, because I genuinely believe that falling in love and to be able to love someone so heavily is one of the most beautiful things you could ever do or have the ability to do. I think our world needs so much love, and I think to be in love and to fall in love is such a beautiful act. And don't be afraid to do it. And if you're not sure about someone, obviously follow your intuition, follow your guts, follow your instincts. If this person doesn't feel like the right person, obviously then steer away. But if everything is pulling you towards that person, if everyone, not everyone, but if everything is telling you, don't lose this person, follow that intuition, because that's what I did. And I think my intuition has led me thus far. So I trust it a lot. I've been told from many people that I have pretty strong intuition, which is a bit, I feel like, of a superpower for me. I think everyone has intuition. I think some people's are stronger than others, but definitely follow it. Don't second guess yourself. I mean, trust me, I do it all the time. I second guess myself about 20 million times a day. But I think once you keep asking yourself those questions over and over and over again, the clarity will come. So yeah, fall in love. Don't be afraid to do it. Be passionate about it. And probably my biggest advice when it comes to falling in love is don't half-ass it, which is what my issue was at the beginning. If you're going to fall in love 110%. Because when I was trying to fall in love with my current boyfriend, I held back so much. There's so many times where I wanted to say I love you. There was so many times where I wanted to show him love, and I didn't do it because I was afraid. And I finally told myself, if you are going to be with this man, you have to let yourself fall in love 100%. If you love someone half of whatever you're willing to give, you know, if you are giving 50% of love to your partner and it's kind of like, I don't know, you know, and you're back and forth about it, don't do that. Just give it your all. Because I promise you, that's the only way you're going to know if you're meant to be. That's the only way you're going to know if that is your person or if that is just something you want to work towards. Because I'm telling you, if you half-ass it, you're always going to second guess it. You're always going to question it because it's not going to feel right. You're always going to be like on edge. You're not going to know if this is your person or what's going on or, you know, if you go 100% and you fall, if it feels like you fall from heaven and he sweeps you off your feet and twirls you around or whatever, you're going to 100% know that that's your person. And if not, if you 100% try to fall in love with them and you're like, this is not it, why does it not feel right? Then you know to step away from the relationship. So I think that is my biggest advice in all of that. I think I answered the question though, right? Let's reread it. No, I'm kidding. I feel like I've read this about 12 million times. Well, yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. This was actually a really good question. I am such a sucker for love. I love talking about love. So if you guys want to send in any sort of love, relationship, advice, any questions, honestly, about love, I love answering them. I'm just such a hopeless romantic. I've been such a hopeless romantic since I was a little girl. So it's just something that I've always gravitated towards. I think that's why I love writing, because I love making myself feel certain things through writing, especially lovey-dovey moments. And also I like writing fake little short stories, stuff like that of random characters, because I don't know, I just love fake scenarios. Does that make sense? Oh, also, perfect example. I don't know if you can see it. I think it's in frame. Is it? Maybe not. It Ends With Us. The book is up there. Did I read it? No, I started it, but I didn't finish it. I went to go see it in theaters and I absolutely sobbed. And that's the perfect example of that's exactly how I want to feel at all times. I want to feel torn apart about love. I want to believe that everyone has an insane love story and experiences insane love and passionate love. And that's what that movie is. I know there's a lot of controversy right now around Lily and who should be Lily and all that. But overall, just I think the story of what it is, oh my gosh, it just tore me into pieces. And I was like, I walked out of the theater crying, sobbing, snotty, absolutely losing my damn mind. And I walked out of the theater with the thought of, I want to feel like this at all times. Is that crazy? Probably. But hey, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to, there's not much. That's who I am. That's what I'm saying. If someone makes you hate that about yourself, well, then you know what? F them, dude. F them. Oh, man, this one's getting to me. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Over the Surface. Go ahead and leave me any of your questions down below. I do have, my producers going through them, throwing in these questions for me in the bowl. So maybe your question will hop in. We'll pop in the next episode. Also, don't forget, I do have a Patreon now. So a new episode will be live today. Go check that out. The link is down below. And I will see you guys next week. Bye. Mwah.